And then what happens?
So it's a 2-part process.
Okay.
Usually it'd be like the night before. We do what's called a pre-intervention, where everybody's there except the person, and we kind of go over what's going to happen.
And when you say we, you mean the family?
Family, friends, whoever they think is going to be somebody that will impact the loved one. It could have. I've had as many as like 15 people, and I've had as few as just one mom.
That's a gang of people. You walk in, you get me, and when I'm high, I walk in, there's 15 people sitting down. I think someone died. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, one time
my test came back.
I did one. I was actually still in training, so I wasn't the main guy, but I was watching, and there was so many people that they had to actually keep half the friends in the other room because the house wasn't big enough to accommodate them. So there was when they were done reading theirs, then the other people came out.
There's like an intervention in every room.
Yeah.
That's cool. So then what happens in intervention? You coach the family, and then you let them know what.
Yeah. Well, they have everything they need to make it happen. They just don't know it, and then if they do know it, they don't know how to present it, in what way, and then it starts to become like a debate or negotiation, and that can't happen. So it's got to be somebody that's neutral to mediate that.
Okay, are you the guy that tells them if they don't stop using to kick them out of the house? Because I heard that on the movie. They're like, little Bobby, if you don't stop using, you're not going to live in the trailer anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you can't live in a trailer. No, that's a big rule of intervention.
So you let them know that they can't.
Yeah, you can live inside or whatever, but not in the trailer. Tent, okay, but not trailer.
So you're the one that tells them, gives them suggestions?
Yeah, I mean like I said, they own everything already. They have the tools, everything. They just don't know how to formulate the plan, and they don't know how to not get into like a big knockdown, drag out like fight with somebody. As soon as they start to talk about it, it turns into something else. So somebody who from the outside who doesn't have any emotional attachment has to kind of mediate it.
Okay, so how does it feel when it works?
It's like doing a home invasion for the right reasons.
Yeah. Oh, nice. It's like a raid.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's a thrill. It's a rush.
That's what happens?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. What happens when it works?
It's fantastic.
You take the people like I seen on the video where you get in the airplane, you fly them out there, and you're like, Bobby's going to.
No, right then. As soon as they say yes, the way I do it is I already have them have a bag packed. They don't know it, but the family gets the bag packed. So when they say yes,
the bag, though?
whoever's that person.
What's in the bag?
You never know. And by the way, I do not discourage drinking on the airplane. Go ahead.
Oh, so you fly them out on the airplane to another program somewhere else to get them away from their current environment?
Yeah, when everything's right now, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, most of the ones I do here in Stockton, people don't have that kind of means.
Yeah.
But when I was doing it from them, we'd try and take them to the other side of the country. I don't do it like that anymore.
To the other side of the country?
Yeah, so if I go to Tampa to do the intervention, I want to bring them to Betty Ford to do treatment.
Right, but it usually doesn't matter if you change the demographics of a person, though.
No, but it does matter if you got to do 90 days. You might not walk out day 2 if you have no way to get across the country.
Right, exactly.
So I have a quick question then. You say you fly airplanes?
No. I used to get high, but no, I never actually flew.
You're like, hold on, we're going to do a drug program. I ain't never drove this.
I did actually. The first one I ever did, though, we flew private. The guy hired a private jet to fly us to.
A private jet?
Yeah.
Nice. I wish my parents had a private jet.
Crazy. Yeah, I thought it was always going to be every time, and it's not.
No.
I wish my mom had a private jet.
Yeah, those are real expensive, man.
Yeah. 39 grand for the flight.
My parents didn't even have a blow dryer, let alone a private jet.
So let me ask you this. So like you take them out there to the rehab, of course, and so like after they've been there for 90 days or a year, like did you ever come back to come check on them to see their progress and see how they were doing?
Actually, a real true intervention.
Yeah.
You don't ever really let go. So like a weekend, 2 weeks in, we're doing conference calls with the family.
Okay, so you're always checking up.
Yeah, because whatever it was that got them to go, you need to keep that reinforcement intact for them to sustain their their plan.
Right.
And a lot of times, to be honest with you, to be fair, the addict's got to go through recovery, but the parent, whoever it is, they also have a recovery process they have to go to too.
Right.
And you can't just ignore that. So, and it gives the addict or whatever a little bit more, empowers them to know that they're not the only ones that have made mistakes and could do something different and be more healthy.
Okay, how did you hook up with this dude, Ken Seeley?
I just Googled it, man. My wife said I was crazy. We were sitting there watching the show, just like anybody watching the show would Google it too.
Were you guys on the couch?
No, we were at the Jonah Foundation, actually.
Oh, nice,
yeah.
Nice. You're watching the show. Okay, and then...
I said, I'm going to do that. She goes, yeah, okay. Whatever.
So you Googled the guy and you called him? And
yeah,
he called you back?
I sent him an email, and I just sent my resume and said, would you be willing to train me? And he said, I don't train people, but I'll hire you as a contractor, and you won't make any money unless you either, close a deal on the phones or go on intervention, and then we, it's not like an hourly rate. So.
Right. So you're like a mercenary of recovery.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool, man. I think that's interesting. So you flew, how many interventions have you been on?
Oh, man, I don't know. Probably, God, I don't know, 60, 70 at least.
That's a lot of interventions.
Yeah. It was hard, too, because...
I've been on one intervention.
Yours?
Sister, no,
you didn't know, but you're at one right now.
No, my sister has diabetes, and she couldn't eat tacos, and I just slapped the taco right out of her hand. I said, Mija, no!
Or you can't live in the trailer.
Or you can't live in the trailer.
Don't make me call Nate.
I'll call Nate. He'll be here. He'll fly here. He knows how to fly. So that's cool, man. That's awesome, man. So you've been on 60. So
I'm just saying, it could be. I don't know. It's been so many. I lost count.
How many people do you think? What's your success rate? Have you got a?
Well,
people still get a hold of you and like, hey, man, thanks for showing up that day.
I really wish, because when I worked with Ken, that's sort of it's unethical. It would be unethical for me now, not working there, to check up on a client that's technically their client.
Right.
I really wish I could. There's some guys that I think about still, and some people I think about, because they were tough interventions, and I wonder, how did it turn out? But it just wouldn't be appropriate. So
okay.
But my goal was always to do this here. I did all that.
So you want to do that here?
I do it here.
So someone could get a hold of you. How would they get a hold of you?
Through Facebook or my
Facebook under Nathan Summers.
Yeah, just Nate. Yeah.
That's a cool name. Is it Nate Summers or Nathan Summers?
Nate.
I'm the only one that calls you Nathan now.
Nate. No.
Nate Summers.
No, the casino host.
Appearing this week.
So what else do you do? Are you just an interventionist, or do you have another occupation? Or?
Yeah, no, I work at drug court. I've been there for 10 years, and that was what was hard too. Is by doing. See, I was doing interventions. I would always have a bag packed, and then they'd call me Friday when I was leaving work.
Right.
And then they would have it coordinated where I would go to an airport. So they just say, just go to Sacramento, go to San Francisco airport, whatever, and I'd go. And then Saturday we do the pre-intervention. Sunday we do the intervention, and I come flying home in the middle of the night on Sunday night on a red eye or something. I have to go right back to work. It was killing me.
I want to ask: were you making good money doing that?
It's pretty good money. When you're doing it with a company that's that big and renowned, it's pretty lucrative.
But it's big. I mean, it's hard to do. Not everybody could do it.
But I want you to know that I don't like.
Motivation was the money.
Every one I've done, and I've done so many for free around here, just because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
And I get so many feedback blessings, even if it's 5 years late. Like the craziest coincidences come up. Oh yeah, I know Nate. He did it. Like this one time, a CHP guy pulled me over, and I had done one for. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's cool though, man. So you've done it. You're doing locally. Nate Summers.
Yeah.
If you need an intervention, I know a lot of us need interventions. I wouldn't even know where to start.
It's what.
We did an intervention one time on a family member, and it worked out, but it was like it wasn't coordinated. We were just hoping. We were just shooting at the stars, man.
Yeah.
But
well, I've tried to do them with people in my family as a professional, and you can't do it. It doesn't work. Yeah. In fact, I ended one of the most.
You're too emotionally attached.
Yeah, probably a couple of my cousins may even be watching this right now, and one of their sisters. I mean, we tried to do it, and I probably never talked to her again. That's my family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel really bad about that. But when somebody says, "Hey, this is going on, and we need your help," you can't say no because you might not talk to me in a year.
But I wonder. See, I don't know. I wonder if interventions really work though.
I think they do.
Because the
proof is in the pudding.
The only reason I'm asking about the intervention if it really works because the person is not coming to the decision on their own. They're coming to a decision because sometimes they may feel forced to come to a decision.
But that works better.
I think it starts the ball rolling.
The research shows that coerced treatment.
If somebody, if I would have had a family, like I was doing drugs, if somebody would have came in and sat me down and be like, "Hey, Reggie, guess what? We're not going to support you. We care about you. We love you. We're going to send you to Malibu to get clean." Man, it would have been a whole different ball game. But it wasn't like that for me. For me, it was like, get clean or die.
Yeah.
And that was it for me. One day I had gotten high, and the drugs were doing something to my body. Something bad was happening.
Right.
So I knew I was gonna die if I just kept using. So I fell asleep and I started my recovery. When I woke up 4 hours later, I go, "This is it. I can't never do drugs again." And I never did, and that was 12 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you guys to say that they always work and that it's pretty and that at the end of it it's like, pink clouds and butterflies. It's not. It's brutal.
Absolutely.
It's a brutal. Pardon?
Can it be unicorns and rainbows?
Sure, whatever. I mean,
you
whatever.
Said pink clouds and butterflies.
I don't know. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, it's brutal. Right. I mean, if and when it starts to go bad, I mean, you really need somebody there that knows what they're doing, because people will.
That's you.
Throw in the towel, you know.
Because I wouldn't know what to do.
Or push so hard they never have a relationship.
Because I'm pretty sure you see the recidivism rate of people continually relapsing because you work in drug court.
Yeah, I've relapsed myself, even with all this training and stuff. I've relapsed, so I know, you know, it's.
But you have a lot of information.
But the thing of it is, though, is you don't not try because it might not work, right?
Right.
Like if there was a car accident now in the street, we'd say, we wouldn't say, oh my God, that's such a bad accident, I'm not even calling 911.
Right.
You wouldn't do that.
Right.
You know, and
so and you gotta be involved.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's better to be engaged than not engaged.
Yeah, and you don't want to do a full-fledged intervention. And I've told people, don't do an intervention.
Right.
So don't try to do your own family. Hear that, at home kids? Don't try this at home alone on your own family. Call an interventionist. They can get a hold of somebody else. Have somebody else come in.
Right.
Because you're already the target when you get there.
Yeah.
You know, because it's about helping that one person.
Yeah.
That one person that can eventually affect millions of people.
Exactly.
Because, you know, it goes, that one person affects another person, gets to another person, gets to another person, then so on and so on.
I'll tell you right now, as an assessment guy at drug court, if my profile had walked in 15 years ago, right? And said, hey, I'm here, I wouldn't even waste my money, right? If I'm in charge of the budget, I would go, let's put it over here. Because I know from enough experience that the guy I was shouldn't make it.
Right.
But here I am.
But you made it. And so we have these things that we built in, these unintentional biases,
these
judgments, and we if you really want to be a pure of service person, you got to get rid of all that.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome. Okay, so we got to get ready to wrap it up.
Yeah, you can call. They can call. Get quotes. Can call my cell phone number is, I'll put it out there, 209-471-8199. I'm always available. If not, I'll have you call Reggie. We'll start training Reggie. So we're gonna do interventions together. I can't do them all.
You're gonna have a line at drug court.
I wouldn't even be good at it. I'll be like, you know what? You're right. You ain't gonna quit. Pass me that joint. You're right. I don't know why we're quitting. But okay, so man, I just want to thank you for being on the show. You want to send a shout out for your Tombstone run? You gonna do a Tombstone run again this year?
Right on, man. I appreciate it.
I went last year.
Yeah, the Tombstone run is always the third Saturday in September, and it was initially based on, it was a memorial for my dad passing away, and we raised the money to buy his headstone with the run. You know, we had the money or whatever, but this just seemed like a cool thing he would like us to do, so we did it, and we got the tombstone. And then people started calling me, so and so passed away, and they can't afford. Can you do a run and help out? You know, and I started doing those periodically, and then I just said, I'm gonna do one every year, have the account, and then when people come to me for that reason, because a lot of my dad's buddies are all hooligans.
When does all this go down?
Third Saturday in September. It's usually about the 20th or so.
Okay. So look out for Tombstone. I went last year. It was crazy.
Yeah, last year we had 170 bikes. We had One Leg Chuck. My boy One Leg Chuck is always there. He plays music. Wow. One of these years I'm going to have a stand-up guy do some comedy.
Yeah, I remember I faked on you that one year. Yeah, I got there. I got scared. I was like,
but it's for a good cause. Yeah, don't say it.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
So over and out. Thanks for supporting Seriously Funny. Tune in next week, Wednesday night. Want to thank Renee for running the boards. Want to thank Dre for coming out. Want to thank my girl for supporting and driving me here and feeding me dinner. Hi, honey. Okay.
Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
That was 30.